Hey, we got this van stopped, and we've separated the male and the female, and we got both of their stories. Now that we're not looking for them so intensely, I was just wondering if you had a minute to just kind of repeat to me what it is exactly you saw.
No problem, sir. Yeah, so...
Fine.
Start at the beginning for me.
See if it sounds the same.
I'm going to turn my car, get this noise out here.
No, we'll leave your office on.
For the past
It could be hot, though.
week or so, traveling around. And the flies here are like pretty intense. Food around is a little disorganized, so she gets a little.
We take those to the farmhouse.
Thanks. Thank you.
Do you think the DUI or can I get water?
Oh no, apparently they don't even drink. She says that he hit the curb because when Officer Robbins turned his lights on, she started punching him because of the trouble they're in.
So the relationship's going well.
Yeah, he can drink some water. Thanks. Doesn't seem super cold, but maybe. You want Gatorade? You want water? I got some water.
Yeah, you have water.
Prefer water?
I'm sorry, I only drink water.
I don't blame you. She says that she can only drink water.
Are you worried about her story? Like, should I...
No, you can talk to her. She seems like a really sweet girl, 22 or something, has a lot of anxiety, and from what she's claiming, she's the full-on aggressor here.
That's kind of what it is.
I'd love to go talk to the independent witnesses, and maybe that's what I'll go do.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple waters. Here's this back, because you might need that for someone else.
I know to keep her rings, the phone, and I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is, I don't have my phone, I don't have a phone, so she goes off without me. But it's alright, I'm on my own. So I was saying, let's just go for a walk, and she was trying to get the keys for me, so I was just going, just wait back up, and then that's when she hit me, and I didn't give, I don't want to pursue, I didn't give overly physical, I was just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And then I got really loud, and then that's probably cleared this attention where I was going. Back up, get away, just get me.
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got distracted?
Okay, Google. Police, how are you? Hey, we got this van stopped, and we've separated the male and the female, and we got both of their stories. Now that we're not looking for them so intensely, I was just wondering if you had a minute to just kind of repeat to me what it is exactly you saw.
No problem, sir. Yeah, so I was talking to my friend across the street near the Forest Service building, and I just noticed that this couple was sort of arguing a bit, and I wasn't staring at them, but it did catch my attention, and what I noticed is it seemed like they were sort of squabbling over a phone. I want to say that he was trying to grab her phone, and I'm not sure exactly why, and then it seemed like he had sort of blocked the one side of the van and sort of wasn't letting her in, and then the male was stepping into the driver's seat, and she was trying to get into the van. I think he said something about, why are you being so mean, something like that, and I remember she sort of hit him a few times, and it wasn't like slugs in the face, but just kind of like two kids kind of fighting. They reminded me of very quick amateur, I don't know, children sort of fighting. But there seemed like something was off. It seemed like a weird vibe. And, yeah, eventually, it's like, she crawled into the driver's seat, sort of like got into the vehicle over his lap, sort of forced her way in, I guess. And then they were in the car, and they just drove away. So I wasn't sure what the nature of the argument was or what. It just seems like there was some sort of disagreement and some sort of like shutting. I don't know why she would have entered through the driver's door. I thought that was strange. And yeah, so I thought about calling it in, but as soon as I walked up this bar, there was another gentleman who was already calling it in, so I was like, oh, good on you. That seemed a bit off. I wasn't sure what to do in that situation, but that's what I saw, and if there's any other specific questions, I'm happy to try to answer.
Did you ever see the male strike the female?
I would say that I think I saw maybe a push or a shove, but not like a full-on punch to the face or anything.
Was the shove was the shove or push an aggression towards her, or was it a defensive maneuver away from her or to get her away from him?
That's a good question. It was unclear what was going on to me, but it did seem like he was. It seemed like he was trying to close off the passenger side of the vehicle and close things up. It almost seemed like he put that backpack or something on the back of the vehicle. I'm not sure. And then he was stepping in and she was out trying to get in. So maybe.
Okay.
I don't. It was the whole thing was off, and so no, I didn't see anything that was like him chasing after her or hitting her or vice versa. It was kind of light and they were almost kind of laughing, and I wasn't sure if they were just joking around, to be honest. But then it got more strange as he was in the vehicle about to drive off.
But you did see her slapping him, though. It sounds like.
Yes, it was like my memory is he was in the driver's seat, and she has the driver's door open, and she was like kind of hitting him either in the arm or maybe on the face, maybe with an open hand, like, hey, let me in, don't be a jerk, something like that.
Okay. Well, your story is really, really helpful because you're an independent witness, and we've just interviewed both of them, and what you're saying is making everything make a lot of sense. So I really appreciate that I ran into you and that I was able to get your number and talk to you. So thank you very much. If we need to ask for a written statement, obviously it's voluntary, it's helpful, but at this point I don't know if we need to go that far unless you're around and super willing at this moment. I can meet you and get a statement.
Yeah, no, I live here, totally willing to do that.
Oh, nice, okay.
Maybe I'll just go, I can go write it down now before memory fades, because like I said, I was kind of just casually observing, but something did seem off, and just wanted to make sure that no one was in a bad situation. So
where can we find you to give you a form real quick? About 10-15 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right,
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, Robin. So I just got off the phone with one of the two witnesses, and I recorded it. Do you want me to tell you what he said real quick? Do you mind hanging with him for a minute? So, this will get away from both of them. So, he said that he never saw the male strike the female. He saw the male trying to lock her out of the vehicle. She even told us that he was trying to lock her out, told her to go take a walk. Said that she was trying to get in. She eventually couldn't get in and actually clawed her way in through the driver's door. He says, I don't understand why she's doing that. Well, I think it was the only door that wasn't locked that she could get through. She's trying to get in over him. He's trying to disengage from her. I guess he hung her backpack on the back probably so she could have her shit so that he didn't have to engage with her. Everything she's saying is the same thing. I haven't heard what he said, but if that's what he said, it's also what the witness is saying. The witness says, I never saw him hit her. I saw him shove her, but I couldn't tell if it was an aggression against her or a defense against her as far as her, being the aggressor. So at this point, unless the guy's screaming that he needs to go to jail and did something to this girl, it sounds to me like she is the primary aggressor.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with her being the primary aggressor is in incidents of domestic assault, be it a male or be it a female, we shall arrest. Now, It doesn't necessarily mean they have to go to jail. We can do a citation if it meets one of 3 criterion, which one of them is that we can ensure that they're not going to further risk each other's safety. But the problem with that is they live in the same vehicle.
That's what I was going to say. The other
And
part of it is
there was actually been
getting,
injury too to the victim, which is him.
right, and I'm getting conflicting stories about why they hit the curb up here.
What did he say? Why he hit the curb?
Well, I watched. This is what I saw. Saw him cross the double yellow. I was doing 42 miles an hour. I was, I don't know, probably 2 car lengths behind him, tapping my wheels at him, trying to get his attention. They knew I was behind him. And then after he crossed the double yellow, he merged over into the right lane.